Hello there, my YouTube family. How are you? Thank you for joining me on tonight. I am Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper, going to part three, finishing up on what we've been talking about dating attributes of the narcissist and with the spirit of persuasion and different relationship. Many of you have been in relationship with a narcissist, and many of you are dating someone that you're in question about. I got so many emails and questions concerning this person that I'm dating. They seem different. They seem almost mesmerizing. It seemed unreal, but this is this gnawing feeling that I'm getting. Then others said these attributes are in my marriage. I didn't see them at first, but they're highly visible. What does this mean? So I want to answer some things. I want to go all the way down. We're going to finish this today. I had 20 attributes, and there are many, many more, but I only covered 20 of them. So go back to my videos on the characteristics of dating and relationship with the narcissist. I have two parts. Please go to those two parts and see those videos. And this is the third and final part. The last one is gaslighting. I want to do a video with that all by itself because that is astronomical. I did a video before, but there's so much information, so many updates on information until it's endless because the narcissists are constantly coming out of the woodwork with new things, new technologies, because as things change and the supply change, the supply upgrade, update, so the narcissists upgrade and update. Since the narcissist is a mirror of the person that he's been with or she's been with, and she begins or he begins to express that by mirroring the person that they've been with. And that's why many of you have got the narcissist back and you notice that they're different. They got the same attributes that give them the traits of narcissism, but they've taken on new attitudes, new extensions to their personality. And those extensions did not come from the narcissist's creativity or him expounding or her expounding. It comes from mirroring, the mirroring of the supply, the mirroring of the people that they've been with. Narcissists can even mirror movies, theatricals, or different things that they've been with, and they take on those alternate realities as their reality, and they present that to you as your reality. So let's get it in the first phase. This is the dating attributes of the narcissist. And the narcissist has a powerful spirit of persuasion. They are very charismatic. And if you get the cerebral, they're very knowledgeable, very thorough, very intentioned, very methodical with what they do. And then if you get the lower narcissist, they're very reactionary. They don't think, they just do. They don't respond, they just go. They are high risk takers. So if they think of something, they don't think things out. They just jump right into it and do it. So if you're dating someone that is of the lower ranking of the narcissist and they they react, if you notice that everything shifted them, they can shift in a minute, they blow over nothing. I mean, in when they're on the road, their road rage is just tremendous. It's almost scary because it's always a possibility of a dangerous incident when you're dealing with the lower narcissist or the lower mid narcissist. So these dating principles become a matter of a peace for you. And some of you, when you're dealing with the malignant narcissist, the sociopath, the psychopath, it can be tremendous because the sociopath, it comes in as a very introverted, but they are very precise, very manipulative, very calculative. And then you go into the psychopath. They can be so sweet and charming. I mean, they will melt you like butter, but they're evil and vicious. And it will behoove you to know some of these things. And so I've given you up to 15, and we stopped at awkwardness. So we're going to start at 16. I do recommend, once again, you go back and listen to those videos about the dating characteristics of the narcissist and the relationship of a narcissist, part 1 and 2. And once again, this is part 3. And I pray that some of you just keep benefiting, just keep the emails coming. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Push that bell every time I upload new information or come on live, or if I have a conference, there are certain things that people won't get that you will get. So listen to this. Number 16 is the narcissist want to see your offense arena. So they test your level of compassion and your level of empathy, because the narcissist knows, like an empath is going to give them chance after chance after chance. But listen, look how participatory they are in checking out their supply and checking out all of these regiments before they even commit to getting fuel from that supply and being in a relationship. Because once the narcissists have been in several relationships, they know the damage that's getting ready to occur. They know the angers that they're going to produce, and they have to make sure that if this is going to be primal supply, that primal supply has to be able to endure some things, has to be able to quickly forgive. So they have to bond that person to them, that no matter what they do, they are almost assured that that person won't leave them, or that the hoovering that they do will be effective. And so the narcissists try you on all of these instances, all of these principles that I've given you, that they do all of these acts of dating and all of these testing that they do, because all of these are tested measure, and the narcissist then engages you. And that's why a lot of times you go out with the narcissist, and 3 months later the narcissist is ready to get married. I mean, a week into the relationship, the narcissist say, I love you, and they say it in a way where you believe it, and the way they look at you, you are convinced. And I mean, they won your heart over in 2 weeks. Usually the average time it takes for a supply is 3 months. It only takes 3 months to catch that bait, lock that bait in, and hook them. 3 months. The narcissists move quick. They don't waste time. They know what they want. They get what they want. They test that supply and see if that supply is worth it. And so based on the supply, I have a video talking about the different supplies. Go to that videos and look at the purposes of each supply. The primal supply gets more care. The primal supply gets more attention, because the primal supply, they will let that primal supply bear their name. They're going to go through hell and back. And usually the primal supply is the one who go through more so than the others, because they have the narcissist with them. And the narcissist, they can change at a dime. I mean, 1 minute they happy, they go to the bathroom, come out, and I mean, they are enraged, and you like, nobody went to that bathroom but you. What can happen with just you in there and you come out different? Because they're so empty. There's so much chaos on the inside of them. So there's chaos around them. There's chaos coming out of them. And they are producing, the narcissist talk all the time, because the narcissist is telling you what is going on the inside of them by their operation, by their reaction, by the attitude and the things that they distribute to you, is their internal instinct coming out, their internal character coming out. And they're telling you, I got a whirlwind. And when they have a whirlwind happening on the inside of you, you can expect hell in the house. Everybody is disturbed. The flies, the nets, Everything that you can think of that's in the house is disturbed. When the narcissists have a rage, even your furniture probably don't want to be there. So let's go to the narcissist testing your level of offense and testing your level of compassion. So the narcissist will purposely do something that will offend you. First, it's this little thing, and it don't make sense what they do, but it's offensive, and they'll say something and it almost catch you by surprise, and you're like, what did you say? And they'll say, nothing. I didn't say anything. And you say, yeah, you said this. They say, like, no, I didn't mean nothing by that. And so you got this little checkmate in your mind. So you put that on the shelf. They come back in and do something, tell you they're going to be there. They stand you up at a restaurant, and then they tell you that something happened with their family, something happened with their sister. And they do it over and over just to see how you endure. If you keep holding on to them, they know that you're a primal supply. They're going to bring you in, trauma bond you, and bring you to a point of devaluation. Devaluation is to strip you of your self-worth. And once your self-worth leave and they devalue you, dependency come into your life, because you start depending on the narcissist for your value system and your self-worth. So that's the reason they attack you at your highest, to bring you to your lowest, because trauma bonding is to bring you to your lowest where you don't feel like you can do anything without them. And this is when they become your masters, your lords, your God, and you feel like you can't not live without them. So they take you to the arena of offense. And then number 17 is superficial need. They test your generosity. Even if the narcissist can be a multimillionaire, the narcissist will ask you for money. And the narcissists know you are in a struggle. The narcissists know that you have invested your money and you have taken care of maybe some family things, some real estate things, some business things, and you are now believing God, or just believing for some stocks and bonds to really reach a profit, so you can pull the money out to assist you in your business or whatever arena, where the narcissist would purposely need that money. They would need part of that money. And you're looking at them like, you should be given to me. But the charismatic manner and demeanor of the narcissist bring you almost into a compulsion where you feel obligated to do it, because if you love me. Now remember, when the narcissists get to this point, we are hitting the 3-month mark. We are hitting the 3-month mark, or we are into the past the 3-month mark. And this is when number 15 onward start to happen, because now they are resting assured that they have you deep in where you can't just walk away, where you just can't leave, and you are committed to the relationship. So now the narcissists bring in their needs and tell you, yes, I have the money, but my money is tied up. I cannot give because this is happening with my money. I'm giving it maybe to a hospital or different charities, or I'm giving it to a university. And so now you give the little that you have, and the narcissist may have a lot, and or he may not have a lot. And the less he have, the more prominent the narcissist needs is going to be. The more he have, the more you can see his selfishness, because it really doesn't make sense why they will come for your little and they have massive. A person who don't have, you can see why they're in need, but then you start thinking about, well, why don't you get a job? Why don't you use your education? Why don't you get an education? So all of these other things become the factors. So this superficial need start to come up, and the narcissist just play on your emotions. Empath, be careful, because that is a weak area for you. Emotions and needs together under the auspices of a narcissist is catastrophic for an empath, because here you go into that obligation, you go into that rescue mode, and you got the mission to rescue that narcissist out of their situation. You're working two jobs and they are constantly begging and they're constantly needing. And you can only work so many hours. You only have 24 hours in a day, especially if you're a parent. And you find that you are working all the time and the parents are keeping the children. Or by the time you get to save something, they need that because the narcissist needs you at your most vulnerable so you will never rise up. And so the less you have and the more you give out, the less that you'll be able to do. Why? Because you don't have the means to do it. So they're locking you into a system, locking you into a habit. And what it is isolation and control. At this point, he start to isolate because he need more prominence in your life. And this is when control is coming. Control come in when they isolate you from every other voice, from every other strength, from every other encouragement. And all of these encouragements cease to be because the narcissists have you in their own space, in their own room, and they only want you to occupy that space. So this is when superficial needs come in. And then number 18 is when they bring up past relationship. And what they want to do is test your jealousies. Test what extent you're willing to go if you see that you're going to lose them. So what they do is what they do with old supply and new supply. When the narcissists get new supply, the narcissists make sure they know, especially if you were familiar with them, they're going to tell that new supply about you, and they're going to make you look like a maniac, an obsessive maniac. They are going to mar your character and do a smear campaign out of this world. And so then the narcissist will say you're calling them. You hadn't talked to them. You are no contact. But the narcissist will tell the new supply that you're running after them. You're calling them. So now to you, they're bringing up the past, telling you, I left them and now they're obsessed with me. They're chasing me. They're running after me. They're stalking me. I can't move without them. They're sending me letters. They're threatening me. I'm scared. I'm afraid. None of that is true. The narcissist is testing your level of jealousy. Why? Because if you feel like you're going to lose what you love, you're going to intensify your giving. You're going to intensify your nurturing. You're going to intensify your commitment. And so you are so committed to the narcissist, you won't let anything get in your way. You won't let anybody stop you. You will cut out mother and father. Now you see the pattern. And so when they coming in, bringing up past relationship, it is because they're taking you somewhere. They're headed somewhere. And see, you and the narcissist now is getting ready to get into a bonded relationship, a connected relationship, because the narcissists don't know covenant. Covenant is when two people cut it and say, this is what we're agreeing to. The narcissist is like, no, you are in agreement with me, and I'm never in agreement with you. When I walk down this aisle, I'm walking down this aisle for me. It's never about you. When I tell you I love you, I'm telling you I love you for me. I am not telling you I love you to make you feel good or make you feel secure, because once they get you locked into this trauma bond system and this system of devaluation, they start to care less, and you start to pick that up. All the attention you start to get, it start to diminish. You are there. It's just like a mop. This mop is a new mop, and you excited, so you're mopping all the floors, and now you're shining the floor, you're buffing the floor because you got a new mop. And this mop is so special, and only a few people have this mop. Well, after you done mop the floor a few times, you wouldn't care if you was the only one in the world with it. You just mop the floor and throw it over in the corner. And that's eventually where you would end up. And number 18 says, bringing a past relationship, testing your jealousy and insecurity. And see, and once they do that and you start questioning them, where you been? You don't call me anymore. You don't talk to me anymore. You don't text me like you used to text me. And so now your loyalty, but usually by this time, the narcissist has done enough to bring question in your mind where you have a opportunity to break away or to stay there. And it's so intense because a lot of times they don't think, they think, but they overdo things and they underthink things because they're so selfish and they're so given to themselves. They never consider other people until they're wrapped up in themselves. They underestimated your mindset because they got you in an emotional ball, and they think that this emotion is the gear of you, the head of you, and that you are totally immersed in emotions and you done totally left your thought zone. So the narcissist depend on you feeling your way through this relationship. And anybody know you cannot trust your emotions in a vulnerable moment. You cannot let your emotion lead you. Wisdom is a better thing, but wisdom don't feel. Wisdom don't get caught up in emotion, but your feelings stay there. You're always feeling. You're always searching. I think I feel. I think I feel. I feel like I love you. I feel like I need you. I feel like there's nobody else for me. I feel like you're the only person in the world I ever loved like this. I feel. How do you feel like they're the only person in the world you ever loved? That's because that's the only person that you've ever met. There are other people in the world that you haven't met yet, so you can't know what it feel like compared to all the other people in the world. So, number 19 is hostility. This is how you handle pressure intensity, and this is going to prepare you for devaluation. Now, the hostility point is when the narcissists want you to make them mad. So they provoke you to say something, provoke you to do something. You know, the narcissists say, "Why did you buy that? You know I don't like that." And you're looking at them like, "This is my money. I can buy what I want to buy." He's angry because you use your money to buy what you want. And then it shouldn't even matter what I buy with my money. We're not married yet. So what the narcissist does, the narcissist get upset, get really angry. Okay, he's testing your intensity. He's testing your boldness. He's testing your reaction to a very intense situation. And then he wants to know your level, or she wants to know your level of vulnerability. And your level of vulnerability is going to let the narcissist know that when they cut up, what are you going to be one who walk? Because there's some supply can't handle pressure, and I mean, you cut up, they're out of there. They may come back, but for this right here, they're out of there. They're at mom's house, grandmom's house, grandpa's house, neighbor's house. They're in the bush. They may be a bushwoman, bushman, anything but to get them out of that situation because they can't handle pressure. And what the narcissist does is take you through all of these stress tests to see the level of your stress, to see if you can handle this. And you'll go over the edge. You'll go over the edge with your children. You'll go over the edge with your family, or you go over the edge with yourself. Empath, they blame themselves. They go internally. It's my fault. And if I hadn't did this, if I hadn't said that, no, it's nothing to do with you. You are in a tested measure. And if you have already been locked into marriage in this relationship, and the relationship is new, and all of these systems are being unraveled in the relationship, and now he's testing you to the realm of hostility. Guess what's coming next? Devaluation. The narcissist will devalue you because after hostility, it's hard to come back to a love bombing state. So he brings you down because if he's not ready to discard you, or she's not ready to discard you, they got to bring you into a love bomb state. And so usually what happens, they get you in the system of hostility. They bring you to devaluation. The devaluation is going to launch this word salad that ain't going to make any sense. And by the time you think you got to resolve, they don't went back over, and which is going to cause confusion, and the confusion is going to upset your mind. The next thing you know, your stomach upset, your heart is beating, you're sweating, you cannot sleep. And then the narcissist, when all of this happens, then they're going to come with the love bombing because the devaluation is going to set them up. And it's like a cat that is scratch, and you just rub their head, but you're rubbing their head so hard until their eyes are back where their ears are. That's the type love bombing that comes after devaluation. It's a love bombing, but it's a pain. It's a love bombing, but it's just torture. It's a love bombing, but it's abuse. And so they are mixing all of this up, and it causes confusion. And this is what we call trauma bonding, to bond you in there, because the narcissists know they gonna cut up, but they need that main primal supply to be able to take them in and to keep them locked down, so they can have fuel at any time. Because with the narcissist, it's about the fuel, and there's no better fuel than to get it from the primal supply, because that is enormous. It's a free flow. It's just like turning on the faucet and the water gushes. So the fuel gushes, because the supply is scratching now for everything they can get. And we're coming to the final that I told you I want to do another video totally on this and this gaslighting. So we're going to touch the surface in the next video that you see that I do. We're going to do on gaslighting. Many of you feel I'm losing my mind. I must be crazy. You're not crazy. You're in the web of an alliance. When the narcissist put you in that web, they're king to your frequency, they're king to your emotions, they're king to your movement, and they get you in that web, and this sticky mess of devaluation, a sticky mess of lies and cheating and ghosting and confusion and devaluation in your life brings you to this gaslighting. You put your keys down, your keys are not there. And you're looking at the narc and you're saying, I put my keys here. And the narc is saying, no, you didn't. There's nobody in the house. The baby is too small to get it. What do you mean? I know where I put my keys. He said, you always do that. You always have memory lapse. And who you gonna blame? You always blaming me for something. I am so tired of you blaming me. If you don't want to be with me, don't be with me. You know I love you. You know I give my life for you. I work hard to take care of this house. And there are some narcissists that are very good providers. But what it take, baby, to eat that cornbread and chicken, it takes hell on wheels. And I mean, you were like, I'd rather eat cardboard so I can have peace. But the narcissists come in and tell you everything that they're doing, and no matter what they do, it is always huge. And based on the level or the class of narcissists that you have, that's how they're going to provide, or that's how you are going to provide. So the narcissists start gaslighting you, making you seem like you're crazy, saying things that they didn't say, and they know they said it, putting things down, making you feel like nothing is happening that you know is happening. So they get what you know. You can see them kiss someone. You can even take a picture, and the narcissist say, I didn't do it. You say, yes, you did. This time I took a picture. He said, oh, that was a kiss because she was leaving. And you like, a kiss like that? He said, the camera make it seem like that. But that's not what happened. If you ask my friend was with me. Joey was right there. Cynthia was right there. And you were saying, no, they wasn't. There was nobody there. I'm telling you, did you take pictures of the people that were around me? There was nobody around. If you look at this, he said, yeah, Joey, he went to the bathroom. He just got a sandwich. What are you talking about? If you had stayed a little bit longer, you would have known that. But you want to accuse me because you don't want to be with me. And so the narcissists start to thread this leave matter. And when you are trauma bonded and you are locked in and you done gave up your God for that narc, you know you're going to do everything you can in your power to keep it there. Because the narcissists get you away from any worship, because they are now your God. They can't stand competition even to an invisible God. They don't want no competition to a visible person, a visible God, or invisible God. However you worship, the narcissist is saying, no, that's my position. And so the narcissists go to gaslighting. And gaslighting is a mind tripper, a mind trigger, and it is a mind abusement. This abusing of your mind mind. It overthrows your logic. It overthrows your wisdom. You see it with your eyes, but after a while, you start doubting your own self. And that's what the narcissist does. They do that sometime even before you marry. That is the last core, because gaslighting is so effective in the hands of a narcissist, and they use that because you start to question everything, that by the time you walk down the aisle, you already feel, many of you said, I felt it inside of me, but I couldn't turn back. I felt that I shouldn't have done that, but I couldn't leave them. And I don't know why I couldn't turn back, because everything in me was telling me no, but I couldn't say no to them. And that is the spirit of persuasion. When you persuade someone, you are coercing them, you are forcing them, you are bringing them past their will to make them feel obligated to your will. They don't trust what they say. They don't yield to what they say. They don't yield to their wisdom, and they pay for it later, but they dismiss it now. The cognizant dissonance is tremendous. They reflect from anything that's going to prevent them from getting the narcissist, and the narcissist knows that. So the narcissist plays the field. The narcissist work on your emotions. Remember, when you are dating, you can feel, but it's not about emotion. You have a mind to think. Use your mind. Just don't use your emotions. If it doesn't feel right, pull back and question, because if you can't pull back, you probably need to question it anyway. Make sure it's something that you want. If you have an already made family, be very careful. And if you want a family, make sure that's the person that you want to build with, because a narcissist does not change. They are patterned. It doesn't matter how old they get. You know, we see it on my live where we got people that's been together for 60 years, got married when they was 20 or got married when they was teenager. 60 years, and the 62 years of marriage, and the 62nd year he leaves, or you got so frustrated you say, I'm done. Well, that's 62 years. 62 years of your life is gone, and you're starting all over again. These dating characteristics that is attached to the spirit of persuasion is really something to deal with. And you may need to think if this is what you want. When your feeling is at a high, usually your wisdom is at a low. Get friends around you that you trust to help you, and then trust yourself to listen to them. Risk listening to them, because once you walk down the aisle, that is a different story. And once you bring children in, that's a different story. We will continue this video, and I will talk about gaslighting on the next video. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Push that bell every time I upload content or we come on live. You will be alerted. Thank you so much for those of you who have emailed me, those of you who leave comments. Love it. Just keep doing it. And I'm telling you, I've given you enough ammunition where you can lock and load and hit a bullseye. You don't have to if you don't feel it necessary. If you sense in your spirit that I need to back up, back up. Because if the person's going to be there, they're going to be there. And if they leave, wouldn't it be better that they leave now than later when you're all entangled with this relationship? These are 20 characteristics of the dating a narcissist and the relationship with the narcissist. And these characteristics, under the spirit of persuasion, it really compromise your wisdom and it compromise your will. Think about it. You are more powerful than you think. God made sure of that. So he made you in his image and not the image of another. I am Helen Sadler. I am your destiny helper, and I'm looking forward to your comments. I'm looking forward to your email, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next video. And remember, Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And remember, Dr. Carmen Bryan is going to have a conference the 31st of July of 2021. And it's going to be awesome as it's held in Dallas, Texas. And remember, if you can't make Dallas, you can make Zoom. But either way, you can be there. So see me and meet me on the next video. God bless you.